The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
From the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Ben Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't really think no SEC coach with a team ranked 7th in the college football playoff rankings would really bail on his team before the start of the college football playoff. And while the school is perhaps just 4 wins away from a national championship, because Lane Kiffin did it. He's off to LSU. Oh, by the way, Memphis also lost its football coach on Sunday. Ryan Silverfield is the new head hog in Fayetteville. Lots to get to. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, Michael Eaves is going to join me. He hosts SportsCenter for ESPN. I'll talk to him about Lane Kiffin, about his school, Kentucky, firing its football coach, Mark Stoops, late last night. Tons of stuff to get to. Michael Eaves will be here in the next segment. Finish talking to him, we'll take a break. Come back, we'll do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, your Memphis Grizzlies are on a 3-game winning streak thanks to last night's 115-107 victory over the Kings. Zach Edey went big. We'll celebrate in about 40 minutes. Penny Hardaway's Tigers are 160th?
Damn.
In the first net rankings of the season that were published this morning? 160th? That's not great. I'll tell you who's leading the American. We'll do that in just a bit. Crazy story with Bennett's Tennessee Titans. They lost again. They barely scored. The Jaguars punter allegedly threatened to kill the Titans running back. That's something you don't hear every day.
No.
A punter threatening to kill a running back. Something hilarious about that. I'll walk you through this weird story. We'll do that a little later on in the show. After moving to 1-0 as the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback, Shadeur Sanders is now 1-1. Rough day yesterday, followed by another viral press conference moment. We'll spend some time on that in the third segment. And Major League Baseball's winter meetings are now less than a week away. Kyle Schwarber, Philly star, is the biggest name out there. Sounds like he's about to get paid. Lots of years, lots of money. I'll tell you more about that situation. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with college football. And, if you watch the show regularly, listen to the show regularly, you likely know that on the mornings after Grizzlies games, we're going to start there about 99% of the time. But I think today should be the rare exception to that rule because Memphis and Ole Miss both lost their football coaches on Sunday. Ryan Silverfield left for Arkansas. Lane Kiffin left for LSU. Best I can tell, Memphis and LSU fans are mostly happy for different reasons. Arkansas fans and Ole Miss fans are mostly angry for different reasons. We'll get to Lane Kiffin in a minute, but Bennett, let's start here in the 9:01. 2 questions. Were you surprised Arkansas offered a Memphis coach on a 3-game losing streak? And 2, how do you feel about your alma mater losing Ryan Silverfield after 6 seasons?
Okay, so number one, I was a little bit surprised, but then when you saw how just the kind of coaching carousel went over the weekend, it's actually not surprising at all. Like
got to hire somebody.
Well, and the thing is, and I'm super happy for Ryan, by the way, and I'll answer the second question in a second, but obviously Memphis beats them this year, and so that's inevitably going to get him on your radar if you're Arkansas, right? That he gets a win over you. Things fell off here at the end with this 3-game losing streak. This was done pretty quickly. I'm sure this was in the works, I would say, for at least more than a week.
Brett McMurphy reported weeks ago that Ryan was the leading candidate at Arkansas, and I think most of us wondered, had he coached himself out of that job with the 3-game losing streak? Yesterday we get the answer, apparently not.
No.
And perhaps we'll never know for certain. Maybe we'll get answers at the press conference, but it does seem like they probably locked in on this and were headed this direction for a while. And then Memphis' season went the wrong direction. And if you're Arkansas, I bet you at this press conference today, you're going to hear a lot about injuries and quarterback and banged up and wasn't as healthy as we needed to be. And that's the main explanation for how you go from being projected to make the college football playoff to, finishing 4-4 in the American. But it's a obviously tougher sell for Arkansas fans now. It's one thing when you hire the Memphis coach who beat you and won his league and went to the college football playoff. It's another thing when you're hiring the Memphis coach who has never been to a conference championship game through 6 seasons and is currently on a 3-game losing streak. Those are 2 different hires, even if you're hiring the same person.
For sure. Now, as far as Memphis losing him, it is interesting just seeing how it played out with all these coaches in the AAC, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. But as far as it was starting to get ugly, it was starting to get ugly there at the end with these last couple weeks. And I guess I agree with the sentiment that this worked out, okay for Memphis because it wasn't going anywhere. They weren't getting to conference championship games. That's the goal, is to compete for an AAC championship. It wasn't happening here. I will say, and I've said to you over weeks, that I do think winning at this time is very important for a college football program like Memphis that has bigger aspirations. Example, getting into a bigger league. And so I think that it's going to work out because I think Ed Scott's going to make a good hire. But again, I do not take winning for granted.
Sure.
I think it is very important to win right now for the Memphis football program if your aspirations are to get to another league. I think having winning seasons every year is super important. So I'll just throw that out there. And he won here. He did win here. He didn't win the big games that people wanted, but he did win some big games.
I'll talk you through it.
Yeah. I appreciate Ryan's tenure here. I do, and I always will, and I'm grateful for his time here. That's where I stand.
I saw the reaction from most Memphis fans. I think it's safe to say most Memphis fans, if not celebrated this, but were certainly not in. There's nobody standing out at the airport booing Ryan Silverfield when he got on a plane to go to Arkansas the way they were booing Lane Kiffin when he got on a plane to go to Baton Rouge down in Oxford. If Memphis fans weren't celebrating it, they're certainly okay with this. And I get it. But I don't have any interest in joining the celebration, if only because, I like Ryan. He worked hard here for 10 years, the last 6 of which he served as as the head coach. Did he win as much as his predecessor? No. Did he win as much as he should have? No. But he did run the program smoothly, at least relative to how some football programs are run, with all sorts of scandals and issues and arrests and whatever. And even if he didn't win as much as any of us wanted or expected, he also didn't run things into the ground, like you said, which shouldn't, like you said, be taken for granted. He was 50-24 in 6 years. He produced 6 trips to bowl games in 6 years. He's 4-0 in bowl games, not counting when he coached Mike Norvell's team in the 2019 Cotton Bowl. He shouldn't have to apologize for any of that. Like, don't ever forget, Larry Porter went 3-21 in 2 years as the Memphis coach this century. So, again, a 50-24 record in 6 years with 2 double-digit win seasons and a 4-0 record in bowl games, that should not be taken for granted. But all of that acknowledged, I do get why most Memphis fans gave a thumbs up to Ryan Silverfield leaving for Arkansas, because his contract was goofy. And yes, broadly speaking, it's totally fair and accurate to describe the Ryan Silverfield era as disappointing. Like, that's, you don't have to be mean about it, but that's what it was. His predecessor, Mike Norvell, made the conference championship game in each of his final 3 seasons. Won the league in 2019. Then Mike leaves, Ryan takes over. Then the league gets easier with the departures of schools like UCF, Cincinnati, UConn, Houston, SMU. But Memphis has never made it back to the American title game. Still 0 conference championships in 6 years, 0 trips to the conference championship game in 6 years. It's 2 third-place finishes, 1 fourth-place finish, a 6th-place finish, a 7th-place finish, and an 8th-place finish. Simply put, that's not good enough. Not when you are funded the way you're funded. Not when Dan Wolken, just to name one of many, is describing your football program as the best outside of the power conferences. Your football program is the best job outside of the power conferences. So, according to Dan Wolken, and a lot of people agree with this right now. It hasn't always been true, but it seems to be true right now. Talk to Ross Dellinger, talk to Dan Wolken, any of these guys who cover college football on a day-to-day basis. They will tell you, take the SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, put it over here. Now, look at everybody else. What's the best job? Memphis. Why? Best funded football program in the league. Okay. Well, then you've got to do more than that. 50-24 is not 24-50. Certainly not the 3-21 Larry Porter did. But it should be better. It should be. To watch your predecessor go to 3 straight conference championship games and then never get there in a lessened league over the next 6 years is, I don't want to say it's a failure, but it is certainly falling short of expectations. And if you're looking for why Memphis fans were not upset yesterday, that's it. That's it. So now it's up to Ed Scott to find somebody who can take what Ryan continued after replacing Mike Norvell and then elevate it back to where it was and where it is supposed to be. No guarantees. The next guy could run it into the ground. This stuff happens sometimes. But I don't think it's crazy for Memphis fans to think our next hire, if it's a good hire, should win more, accomplish more, put more trophies in the trophy case.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment.
Yeah.
Now to Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
Might have heard he left Ole Miss for LSU. Are you surprised he did it under these circumstances?
Man, I kind of, yeah. I did not think it was going to happen. I did not. When they said they were going to have their big meeting and he was at the AD's house, I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was just all like he's setting this up to be, just have this big moment for Ole Miss football. I really did not think he was going to leave.
My blind spot for this was that I just didn't think anybody would do this under this very specific set of circumstances. I talked about this last night on the Iron College Basketball Podcast. They clipped a part of it. It got passed around a little bit. Mm-hmm. And you just sort of read the comments, and most people are like, yes, I agree. And then some people are just like, he was always after the money. Like, this isn't – the only true thing Lane Kiffin said over the past week is that it's not about the money. That's like the only true thing he said. This wasn't a money thing. This was a weird thing. And you see people, when I say things like, I don't think many people would do this under these circumstances, they say, well, yes, they would. And I'm like, well, then like prove it to me, because nobody else has. This is one of one. This has never happened. I guess where I just had a miscalculation is I just looked at his situation and I said, I can't imagine a person sabotaging everything in the way that he's about to sabotage everything. And for what? It's not just about the $13 million a year and the big long contract. He could have got that at Florida. He could have got that at Ole Miss. What are you chasing? Why are you doing this? I just can't, like, it is so out of bounds in the way that I think about things. It would really be a non-starter for me. And I think it would be a non-starter for most coaches. Basketball coaches are presented with these types of opportunities all the time. A conference tournament ends. A school fires its coach. That job is open. They start reaching out. They want to talk. You have never seen a college basketball coach voluntarily leave his team before the NCAA tournament run that they were either about to go on or in was over. It just does not happen. The closest thing is Bill Frieder a long time ago at Michigan, but he didn't take the Arizona State job thinking he was going to have to give up Michigan's team in the middle of the season. That happened backwards. He, like, with a wink and a nod, yeah, as soon as this is over, I'll come to Arizona State. It got out. He decided not to lie about it. Told his boss, yes, when it's over, I'm going to go to Arizona State. And they said, you're done. You're not coaching here anymore. But he didn't have to make the choice of, hey, you can do whatever you want. But if you leave now, you're not coaching this team anymore. He didn't have to make that choice. Lane Kiffin made that choice. He was asked to make that choice, and he chose something that I don't think many people would choose. And he might be the type of person, because these humans exist, who just don't carry around regret, remorse. They don't have those feelings that I think normal people have. But if there's anything inside of them, I would assume you regret this at some point. How could you not? You just built something and was on the verge of hosting the biggest sporting event in the history of the state of Mississippi with a real chance to win a national championship. I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think they were going to win it. But
what if you did?
You're essentially a 2 seed.
Right.
Think of this as the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And you got 4 1 seeds, 4 2 seeds. They would essentially be a 2 seed in this tournament.
Yeah.
If you think of it like the NCAA tournament, you always think a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament's got a chance. They had a chance. With that quarterback, with him calling plays, they had a chance. And to just walk away from it. I didn't think he could do it. Here's what I honestly thought. He would want to take the LSU job. He would be convinced he's going to take the LSU job. He would beat Mississippi State on Friday. He would have the meeting with the athletic director, and reality would hit him in the face, and it would just be like, you cannot eat your cake and have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
You cannot do both of these things. You got to make a choice. You can either go be the LSU coach or be the Ole Miss coach. But if you choose to be the old LSU coach, you're going now. And you're not seeing this thing through. You will not even meet with your team. And you will not meet with your team. You will not coach in the playoff. You're gone now. I thought that would be presented to him. And at that point, I really do believe this. 99% of coaches would just say, can't do it. I can't do it. And he really might be the one who actually did it.
And I would have just thought, and obviously it's a long time ago now, but you have the leaving Tennessee to go to USC thing. And it's like he's kind of lived this before.
Except I understood that one because that was, you weren't walking away from a playoff team. You weren't walking away from a possibility of a national championship, and USC really was his dream job. And
He was there before.
And it was like, I just got to Tennessee. I've been here 8 months. Like, the USC job might never open again for me. I got to go. I understood that one. This is not that. This is not whatever coaching change you want to think of in the history of college basketball, college football, whatever. Just know that if you're trying to use that as an example to be like, well, what about this? It's not comparable. Nobody has ever done what this guy did yesterday.
Crazy. I would have just thought, because you're always going to have in the back of your head the what if. I mean,
I would. But I would. Most people would. Normal people would. He might not.
Unless you win a championship at LSU.
Then you're just Ed Orgeron. Everybody does that. Lane Kiffin, he cemented his legacy yesterday. That's who he is. And I don't mean just to Ole Miss fans. I mean to everybody except LSU fans. And they might turn on him in 2 years. He cemented his legacy yesterday. If he's comfortable with it, God bless him. But that's who you are now for the rest of your life. He had spent a lot of time working on trying to convince everybody, I'm not who I used to be. I'm not that guy anymore. You showed us who you are. That's it doesn't make him the devil, but a normal person would not do this the way he did this. I was, and then to God. I talk to God. Talk to God. I hate it when people do that. God did not tell you to screw Ole Miss and go to LSU. I mean, that's just dumb. Like, own it. I think I know you guys keep saying I got a national championship team right now. Maybe I don't think I do, but I think I can build one at LSU very quickly. Say that. I'll believe that.
Right.
Put it off on all this stuff. Come on, man.
What a weekend, though.
What a weekend.
It was fun, man. I had a great time.
What a weekend.
Yeah.
We'll get Michael Eaves' thoughts on it next.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you. Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back.
It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com.
Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites John Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Show presented by Ortho South. We are in the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. Michael Eaves joins me on Mondays in the second segment. You watch him on SportsCenter. He's here right now. Michael Eaves, it's GP. How you doing?
I'm good, brother.
A lot of coaching stuff to get to, including at the University of Kentucky. Let's start with Lane Kiffin, though. Are you surprised that he actually pulled the trigger on this? He became the first coach in college football history yesterday to walk away from a playoff team that is going to barring a surprise, host a playoff game at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. I think I can tell your answer. You're not surprised at all.
Gary, come on, dog. We know who this man is. He has showed us who he has been for the better part of 20 years. This man moves with the audacity of someone who was born on third and thought he hit a triple. He expects to have all the things. He expected fully to be able to take that job at another program in the same conference and with a little bit of history with his current team, and then be able to stay with them all the way through potentially what could be a trip to the national championship game into mid-January. He thought he could have all those things because over the course of his life, typically he's gotten all the things that he's wanted. Someone finally, I wouldn't say finally stood up, but someone stood up and said, in this situation, no, you can't have all the things. You have to make a choice between where you are and where you want to go. You can't straddle the line as long as you want to straddle it. You have to make a decision. And at that point, he knew LSU was a better job than Ole Miss. That's just facts. Everybody else in the SEC, maybe outside of Oxford, would say that, right? So you take the better job. No one would be like, man, I can't believe he took that LSU job. Of course he did. But it's the audacity that he thought he could do all the things that turn a lot of people off. But if you look at his career, that's what he's always done. Every single place he's been, he's always had the audacity that he can have all the things, whether it's leaving Tennessee the way he did. Matter of fact, let's go back to Alabama. When he was offensive coordinator and finally got another head coaching job at Florida Atlantic, he fully intended to stay with them through the national championship game. And Nick Saban's like, nah, dog, you got to go. You got a job, you out of here. So it's not unprecedented, but it's just Lane Kiffin.
I guess, and everything you just said is true. And, I followed this man's career. I know his reputation. I just thought at some point reality would set in and you'd be like, I'd love to be the LSU. Yeah.
Gary, stop. I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Your reality and Lane Kiffin's reality are not the same reality.
That's right.
And that's what people have to understand. We were talking about this last night with my show pod, as we call it. My producer kept trying to make sense of it. I was like, stop.
Right.
You're trying to make logic out of something that is not Lane Kiffin's logic.
Right.
And that's what you have to. You have to look at this through his prism, not the average person. You have to look at it through his prism. And this is the way he has always operated.
Do you think he has it in him to ever look back on this and go, I didn't do this the right way? Do you is that in there somewhere? Because I would regret this for the rest of my life, but I am now realizing he and I just do not think the same way.
I mean, sure. I think everyone is capable of reflection at some point in their life. It just depends on what triggers that reflection. Right. Usually your reflection is triggered by disappointment. Right. You're like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Let me go back and look, see, I could have done it differently. It's rare that if you just continue to be successful in his case by getting all these jobs, even after failures in other coaching stints, then what is he looking back on? Like he could look at like, oh, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have got this job and I wouldn't be where I'm now and I wouldn't be making $84 million. So again, it is possible, but that doesn't mean it will happen.
Right. We're talking to Michael Eaves from ESPN. Elsewhere in the SEC, Kentucky last night pulls the trigger on Mark Stoops. It's just sort of a reminder of how quickly, and I guess you could talk to Hugh Freeze about this, like the margins are so thin now and the leashes are very short. It seems like just yesterday, I know it wasn't, but just yesterday, like Mark Stoops was winning 10 games and popping off the John Calipari, and he was like, kind of the king of everything. And now it's just over. As a Kentucky fan, what did you make of that decision last night?
It was time to go. Yeah. I mean, based on especially how this season played out, and then you get housed by Louisville. You just can't go out that way. And one issue for Mark Stoops, and I've said this for a while, is, and I don't blame him for this. I blame administration and Mitch Barnhart for doing this. They paid Mark Stoops as if he was a top 10 coach, and he's never had top 10 results. Right? And they were afraid that he was going to go somewhere else. And I understand that fear. But at what point are you willing to put your program at risk for that fear? And all due respect to Mark Stoops and the success that he had at Kentucky and those seasons you were talking about, going to bowl games and all of that, none of that ever was a top 10 result. None of that was ever even top 4 in the SEC. But you're paying him as if he's beyond that. And when you do that, you set a level of expectation. And that's but it's unfair to expect him to meet that when he hasn't done it in the past, in my opinion. And I think that is also a reflection of college football as a whole right now. The expectation that these programs are putting on these coaches with these contracts is insane.
Yes.
And then you see programs like LSU and other ones that have to pay all this money because of they overpaid for somebody they thought was the right guy. I understand it's like being in the NFL draft. You have to pick a quarterback because you know you're going to need one. You end up probably picking most of them way too high and paying them way too much money early because you know you have to have one. But if you do it consistently without making the right choice, you just set your team back for failure.
Do you think, because you touched on some interesting stuff here, that the business model with coaching contracts ever changes? Because we have gotten to a place now where, like, if you're the coach at Tulane and you have 2 good years, you're in contention to get the Florida job or the LSU job or one of those jobs, and then immediately they give you something like 7 years, $50 million, and it's just like, we don't even know who this guy is. Can you imagine in our industry if I had like 1 good week of shows and somebody just said, man, that was an amazing week of shows. Let's give him $100 million and lock him up for the next 10 years. What if I just had a good week? I'm not capable of doing this. And so then you're exactly right. Then you end up, so that happens. And then at the Kentucky level of the sport, you got whoever you got, and they have one like 10-win season, and then now he's on everybody's list of possible candidates. So it's like, we can't lose this guy, and then you end up just paying a ridiculous amount of money to a guy who was probably always going to settle right back in the SEC where you typically are, and it just keeps spinning and spinning with buyouts. Outrageous amounts of money. Like, at some point, somebody's got to rein this in. This is a crazy way to run a billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Who's going to rein it in and why?
Yeah.
Like, we feel as if it's not good for the sport. And let me say this real quickly. I don't want to hear anyone else talk about these players and these NIL deals and them making decisions for their future and their family by going where they want to go and popping program year to year. The coaches have been doing it for decades, and it's never been an issue. Right. Now we want to say, well, we didn't like the way Lane Kiffin did it, but everyone understands why he would take that job. But to your original point, I just don't know how many programs are capable of doing it at this level, whether it's Texas A&M coming off the Jimbo Fisher situation, now LSU coming off of Brian Kelly. I don't know how many teams can actually do that on a regular basis. So will that business model change? I'm not sure, because ultimately it's always about the big dogs anyway, and the big dogs have always operated different. But I would hope as a college football fan that these administrators, who I understand a lot of pressure from their boosters, understand the landscape and see how these things are going and make better investment. I know you got to spend. I understand that. But be careful with the way you construct the contracts and who you choose for those contracts, because if not, you are setting yourself up for failure that it may take 2 or 3 coaches to overcome.
Yeah. It's just you give these big contracts out, and then the leashes are so short now. And some of this is
Gary, it is absolutely possible that Lane Kiffin could be fired in 3 years.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's absolutely possible, and he would have 4 years remaining on that deal if he gets fired. Right? That's absolutely possible in this day and age of college football. It's possible, but yet he's sitting on 7 years, $84 million, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, it's wild. And then, like, you make a good point. It is hilarious that college administrators keep sending lobbyists to Washington, and every time they talk about the issues facing college athletics, it centers on young people bouncing around college campuses making perhaps $1 million or more in NIL. We have college coaches bouncing around for $100 million. And how is that not a bigger issue than the quarterback at whatever school going from, the mid-major to the Big Ten? Right.
The difference is the business model for college football that has been in place for about 100 years was always dependent on controlling the labor, which was the players.
That's right.
Now the players have more control of their own destiny, and all of a sudden, we can't do that for the sport. That ain't the real problem, dog. It's never been the real problem. It's always been how you allow these coaches to get out of contract. We never see this in the NFL. We don't see this in the NBA. We don't see this in any other sport except college, where these coaches, usually men's basketball and college football, these coaches can get out of contracts anytime they want.
Right.
But all of a sudden, that's not a problem. It's the players getting money when they're only in school, sometimes 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Come on, dog.
It's crazy. Let me get you out of here with this. Let's talk NFL. I guess it's silly to ask, is this real? Because we're pretty deep into the season. But the Bears as a 1 seed? Are the Chicago Bears like a real Super Bowl threat?
I don't know.
Yeah.
and I say that because we've been having this conversation the last couple of weeks. There are no great teams in the league right now. I feel as if nobody wants to be great, right? Just last week we were saying, no, the Rams got to be the best team in the league during this win streak. They're the most complete, da-da-da. And then Matthew Stafford, who are only throwing like 2 interceptions over an extended period of time, throws 2 right in the early part of the game, and they lose to Carolina, right? Like, nobody wants to be great. And do you really have a lot of belief in the Broncos or the Patriots that if they go into the playoffs and they face either Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or even if the Chiefs actually make it Patrick Mahomes, that you would favor them over one of those 3 teams I mentioned? Probably not. In the NFC, is it really the Rams? Well, the Niners looking good all of a sudden. Are the Bears for real? We don't know. Well, they still got the Packers. You still got the Lions. And look, anything can happen in either conference right now. So I don't know the answer to your question, Gary. And I'm not going to even act like I do, because the way this entire season has played out, it's all about parity, and no one is great, and we're just going to see what happens.
I just, as a lifelong Mets fan, I've got friends who are lifelong Bears fans, and it feels like the Mets and Bears are very similar in the sense that they've got this iconic mid-'80s championship team that everybody remembers forever, and then it's just been miserable ever since. And so I'm happy for my friends who are Bears fans. It's a fun story, regardless of where it ends. They're 9-3 right now.
And that's the thing. None of us know.
Right.
And whether you're a Bears fan or a Broncos fan or whoever, this may be one of the best playoffs we've had in quite some time, because anybody literally could win the Super Bowl this year. And maybe sometimes that's the best turnout.
That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. You can watch him on SportsCenter. Make sure you're following him on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. You're the best, buddy. I appreciate your time.
All right, man. Be good.
I'll see you. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. Bennett, let me ask you. You believe in the Bears?
I think you have to at this point.
I mean, that's what I said. Like, it's like they played 12 games and they've won 9 of them. At some point, I don't necessarily believe you are what your record says you are, but you are a 9-3 football team.
Yeah, and Ben Johnson was a guy that people really wanted. He was like a highly sought after head coach, and he's proving to be one of the good coaches in the league. Yeah.
He was interesting. Michael was on the Lane Kiffin situation. I think that's where most people land. Like, dude, that's who he is. I guess I just have a hard time imagining you can really be that guy.
I was just shocked at the thing for me that was the most shocking was that whole meeting was just about trying to be able to coach in the college football. And listen, I understand that on a lower level, like the two of the American coaches, the Summerall and my guy and Morris, they're coaching in the championship game this weekend. They're both being allowed to coach in the AAC title game this weekend.
It's just different. It's a different thing.
This is a huge rivalry between Ole Miss and LSU. Like there's a little bit of a little brother thing going on. Like it's way different.
It's just different. I can spend the next 20 minutes explaining it to you, and just know that it's different.
Yeah.
And Tulane in Florida and any other schools are free to figure this out however they want.
Yeah.
But I thought, if you saw the Lane Kiffin interview with Marty Smith last night on the tarmac, I thought it was interesting because he said that Keith Carter told him something that I believe I had said last week. Like, if you're Keith Carter, you've got to think about it from this perspective. I know Lane's your buddy, or at least you think Lane's your buddy. Mm-hmm. And it became increasingly clear as the weekend approached that he wanted to be the LSU coach, but also wanted to coach Ole Miss through the playoff if he could. And Lane said last night that Keith told him, I have to live here. And allowing you to do that makes it tougher for me to live here. And that's what I said last week. Like, there is an argument to be made, because I've seen people make it, whereas the argument would be this. You're Ole Miss, they're LSU. The schedule's the schedule. But don't ever forget, you're the same place that lost your coach to Auburn once upon a time, even though he said you'd have to carry him out of here in a box.
Right.
You're a good SEC job, but you're not that. And history says you lose your coach to that place if that place wants your coach. So just deal with it and stop being mad, and now think, okay, that's done. Now we have to do what's best for us. And is there a scenario where what is best for us is actually trying to win a national championship, both feet in, and the coach who gives us the best opportunity to do that is Lane Kiffin. So let's put emotions aside and try to go win this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put our best operation out there and see if we can do this.
It's like Kawhi with the Toronto Raptors.
There is an argument to that. I just reject it completely.
Yeah.
I just reject it completely. I don't think Keith Carter made a mistake telling Lane Kiffin, you either commit to Ole Miss or you leave Ole Miss now. The mistake might be he waited too long to do it. All of this was mishandled in a variety of ways. There's a whole nother scenario. You realize this, right? Where this could have just, like Penn State still doesn't have a coach today. You could have just, and I understand transfer portal opens and roster building, and this wouldn't have been ideal for anybody. But there was a scenario where the LSU job just sits open. Lane Kiffin never says a word about it. You can keep asking him about it and saying, well, reports say, and you say, I ain't talked to them. I'm focused on this. And when your athletic director comes and asks for a commitment, you say, I've got a contract with you. I'm coaching my team. I can't deal with what Pete Thamel and Ross Dellinger and Dan Wolken are reporting. But, like, what are you talking about? I've got to recommit or what? You're going to fire me? Before the Egg Bowl? After the Egg Bowl? Like, what are you talking about? And LSU just sits there and you let this thing play out. And then whenever Ole Miss's season ends, oh, surprise, surprise, LSU is hiring Lane Kiffin. That wouldn't have been ideal, but that's you could have done it that way. That's the way it works in basketball all the time. Like, you know who you're going to hire, just waiting for them to lose in the NCAA tournament. And then there were different ways to do this. I don't think anybody did it perfectly. But I think looking back on it, when Lane put his family on a plane to Gainesville and to Baton Rouge, that's when I think you say.
It's all out there, yeah.
That's when you say, yo, man, I was willing to work with you on this stuff, but
now everyone knows.
Your family's in Baton Rouge. This is not playing well. I need a commitment now, or else we will suspend you for conduct detrimental to the program. I don't know that I would have done this. I'm just saying that this is, I think with the benefit of hindsight, you could have, and then you make him make a hard decision, even harder decision than the one he ultimately made. Maybe that was the misstep, but it was the thing that made it as complicated and as unusual as it is, isn't the calendar or the playoff as much as it's Lane. I don't believe most people would have done this, like I said. And I would not have done it. Even if my dream job is the LSU job, I would say if there is a way for me to thread that needle of finishing what I do here and then taking my dream job, if there's a way to check both those boxes, let's try to figure it out. But once I know there's not, I can't walk away from a playoff team before seeing it through. I can't.
Yeah.
I'll regret that for the rest of my life, and I can't do it. I can't do it to the young men I recruited. More than that, though, I can't look myself in the mirror and know that's who I am. The second you make that decision, here's what I would have known. And this is where I think clearly Lane Kiffin and I just think differently. The second I make the decision to leave Ole Miss, I know that I'm 50 years old, and I've just cemented my legacy. When I go to LSU, there's a chance it goes poorly and I'm fired in 3 years. There's a chance it goes well and I win a national championship. But I will not be celebrated as winning a national championship at LSU as much as they'll discount it and say, yeah, okay, of course.
Everyone wins one there.
Everyone wins one there. You'll still be the guy who walked away from a playoff team. And you might, by the time you win a championship, if you do, still be the only guy who's ever done it.
You know, I will say, I think this is going to be the most polarizing one, but I do think, especially if they expand the playoff, that we are going to get to the point where this happens almost every year. Where a coach that's coaching a playoff team gets taken by a bigger school.
I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, like, you might be right. There are some people who agree with you. I'm telling you, I'm unsure. I think most men would not walk away under these circumstances. I don't. I mean, in college basketball, we see it all the time. Mm-hmm. What Lane Kiffin just did is the equivalent of walking away, is coaching all season. And then you get to the NCAA tournament, win the round of 64, win the round of 32. You're headed to the Sweet 16. And then you leave. And your team's still got to play in the Sweet 16. But you're out. On to the next job already. I don't think most people would do that. I think you take a different coach and you put him at Ole Miss under these exact set of circumstances. I think a different coach says, of course I wanted to be the LSU coach. That's one of the 5 biggest jobs in the country. Lesser coaches than I have recruited incredible talent there and won national championships there. I'm a better recruiter and a better coach than men who have won national championships at that place. I know I am. I can win a championship there. But I can't walk away like this. I can't do this. The timing's just terrible. This stinks. Like if I were, if he was 9-3 instead of 11-1, then it's pretty easy. You're not walking away from anything. You win the Egg Bowl, you're walking away from whatever meaningless bowl game you were going to play in, and that's fine. That's the way the profession works. But I think most people, even if they wanted the LSU job, would have turned down the LSU job yesterday. I think most people would have turned it down. So I don't know if we're going to see this a lot going forward. We could. But I think most people just say no. Like, I'm on the way to the playoffs, and I can't change jobs right now.
Unless you're a coach in the American.
Yeah, but that's different. Because if you're a coach in the American, I really do think that's
the whole league got poached.
I mean, the whole thing. Well, not to belabor the point, but we've reached a point in college football particularly where you hire all these guys. Like, there's 16 coaches in the SEC. Mm-hmm. They're all multimillionaires many times over. All right? I mean, Ryan Silverfield just signed for $35 million.
Yeah.
All right? You pay all these guys, I don't want to say crazy amounts of money. It's just the rate. It's the going rate for an SEC football coach. But you pay them a lot of money. And somebody's got to finish 16th.
Yeah.
By definition, somebody's got to finish 16th. You're going to have a guy making $6 million a year going to finish last in the league. That's going to happen every year. Everybody can't be good. These leagues are used to, you could win the SEC or the Big 12 or the ACC or the Big 10, and you were a power conference champion. Or the Pac-12. Well, we've taken the Pac-12 and just took all its best teams, thrown them into these other leagues. Mm-hmm. Now you don't get to play for that trophy anymore. Suddenly the Big Ten's harder than it's ever been. Yep. SEC's harder than it's ever been. So you pay all these men all this money. And then they, lose because somebody's got to lose. It's a zero-sum thing. For every win, there's a loss. So then somebody's mediocre. Somebody's not earning their paycheck. So you fire them. And you know what you do? You look up and you go, well, who are we going to hire? A retread or a hotshot coordinator, or I guess it's an American coach.
Yep. Who's the up-and-comer in the American?
And so it's like, well, I guess LSU is going to take the Ole Miss coach, and Ole Miss is going to promote from within. And it's like, you're Arkansas. You're like, okay, well, we can't compete with Virginia Tech. We can't compete with Penn State. We can't compete with Florida. We can't compete with LSU for our next coach. Who are we hiring? That's how you lock in on Ryan Silverfield. It's like, who else are we going to hire? And so then you give him a whole bunch of money. And it's like, and if he delivers the results that he delivered at Memphis, at Arkansas, then you'll have to buy him out of that and do it all over again.
Man, it's extremely unfair as a Memphis fan, too. Just just the fact that you want a seat at the table, but you're not good enough to get a seat at the table, but all of your coaches are good enough to eventually get a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. Like, it's frustrating. Yeah. It's like, 4 coaches leave the league.
I mean, it's like the VCU of basketball.
Right.
Or Memphis is like VCU is in basketball. Like, every VCU coach goes on to bigger and better things.
Right.
Like, every one of them. Like, without exception.
Yep.
They all...
But VCU's always a good program, right? Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Capel, Shaka Smart, Anthony Grant, Ryan Odom. Like, they all do the VCU job well, and then they bounce. Yeah, Memphis has got a string of that right now. And just to hammer home the point, then we'll get on with this. I see somebody in the chat. Let ABC call GP right now with a better offer, and he's gone. This is where people just wildly miss the point. This is how the college athletics profession is so screwed up. Yeah, ABC could call me right now. And you know what we would tell them? I'm under contract through the end of 2026.
Yeah, I can't talk to you.
Call me at the end of 2026. Like that's how crazy this profession is.
Yeah, these contracts mean nothing in college football.
Yeah. You can just buy out of them.
Right.
I couldn't go anywhere. I am locked in. There is no out for me.
The years mean nothing on a college football contract.
The biggest radio station or podcast company in the world could call me tonight and say, we got to have you. And there's nothing I can do. This is where I work. Now, I want to be clear. This is where I want to work.
Right.
But like that's what people think. Oh, well, you would go. No, I wouldn't. I couldn't. That's the thing. But even make me a football coach and I wouldn't do what Lane Kiffin did. I talk to my own kids about this stuff. And I'm not trying to compare my kids to, a football coach making $13 million a year. I know it's not apples to apples. But like this is something I emphasize. You committed to this team. But Dad, I don't feel like playing soccer anymore. Dad, or this other baseball team wants me. And I would think I'd like to play with that baseball team. I've had these conversations with my kids. It is flattering that other people want you. And we can look at that when this season is over. But you made a commitment to these coaches. These coaches turned away other kids to have you. These are your teammates. They've been working hard all year to try to win something. I know it's just 8-year-old baseball stuff, but still, it matters to them. You're not walking away from this. We will finish this season with the people we told we will finish this season. And then if you want to look up at the end of it and make a decision about your future, then we can do that. You decide you don't want to play on the golf team anymore, that's fine. But we will finish the golf season. You decide you want to change baseball teams, that's fine. But we will change once we're eliminated from whatever the big end of the season tournament is. You make a commitment to somebody, you show up. So even if I could get out of a contract as a football coach like Lane Kiffin, I wouldn't have done it. That's just sincere. It doesn't make me morally better than Lane Kiffin. It doesn't make me anything other than somebody's telling you the truth. I would not have done what he did yesterday. I would look in the mirror every day for the rest of my life and be like, that's who I am. I walked away from that. What am I doing? I've told this story before about Billy Donovan. Wins 2 national championships in Florida back-to-back and then takes the Orlando Magic job. Yep. And then like less than a week later went back to Florida. And later that summer, I think, I was with them in Akron maybe because we were there for the LeBron James Skills Academy. And we were just like talking through it. Like, hey, so what was that? Like, talk me through the whole thing. And the main thing that made him turn around from Orlando and go back to Florida in that moment was, he said, I recognized I'd been building this thing, working like crazy to get it. Like, that's all you dream about is maybe doing this. And then you're there, and then I just run away from it. Just run away from it to go try to build something new. It just seemed like in life, you're supposed to enjoy your successes. Like, I need to enjoy this, sit in it, not run from it. And eventually, then he makes his way to the NBA. But his main point was I had reached a place in my life that I knew was great, and disrupting that didn't seem like the right thing to do. And that's why I came back to Florida, to enjoy my success and not disrupt a life that was going beautifully in that moment. And that is the way I would have looked at this yesterday if I were Lane Kiffin. I just would have said, I'm not going to, my life's pretty good right now. Mm-hmm. I'm telling everybody who will listen that I'm happy, that I've got everything I want. Maybe that was insincere for him, but I think I could have interpreted it that way. And then I just don't want to be the guy for the rest of my life who every time somebody looks at him, they say, yeah, that's the guy that ran out on the football team that had a chance to win a national championship. Quit on him right in the middle of it. Decided he'd just go coach another team in the same league, right in the middle of it. I just wouldn't want that to be me. I mean, I got other things that, but I wouldn't want that to be me. And either he has a blind spot for that or he does not care. Perhaps both are true. But I would care. I would not want to be viewed that way. He is, there's no rehabilitation with this one. He kind of rehabbed his image at Ole Miss. You got the documentary. Yep. Oh, hot yoga every morning with the family. You can't rehab from this one. Now it's like you took your image and, hit reverse on it. Damaged it in ways that I don't think can be redone. None of this stuff, it's not like he's a murderer. Like, let's not talk about him like he's Diddy. But from a coaching profession, that standard, yesterday was out of bounds for most people and would have been out of bounds for me as well. I don't even know where we are in the show now.
Oh, we got to talk about the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah. The Grizzlies are on a 3-game winning streak.
About that.
The Grizzlies are on a 3-game winning streak, and Zach Edey looks like the return of the traditional big man is back.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Edey is dominating everybody in the NBA. Let's celebrate Grizzlies victories. We haven't had a chance to do that too often this season, injuries and otherwise. But 3 in a row. Beat the Kings last night. I love playing them.
Me too.
We'll get into it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. And let me remind you that the biggest Grizzmas yet tips off with our biggest ticket deal of the season, the Grizzlies Cyber Monday deal. That's today. It's Cyber Monday. Happy Cyber Monday. It's Cyber Monday deal. Gives you a chance to be home for the holidays with up to 60% off of tickets to Grizzlies games in the month of December and in January. But this ticket deal is available for 1 day only right now. So lock in for the holidays at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/cyber to get your tickets. Visit grizzlies.com/cyber to get your tickets today. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The Grizzlies are surging.
Yes.
The Grizzlies are surging.
I'd like 60% off tickets right about now.
3-game
pretty good.
winning streak. 115-107 victory in Sacramento last night. Zach Edey went big. 32.17 rebounds, 5 blocks. So the Grizzlies are now 9-12. I don't know how often you look at the NBA standings, Bennett, but if you look at them today, you know where the Grizzlies are? They got a 9 next to their name.
How about that? And I told you I'd be thrilled with 8-13 to finish out the month of November. I interest you in 9-12?
I think I owe you an apology. You were throwing out hypothetical records, and I was like, Bennett, calm down. I see you got your little Grizzlies hat on, but calm down a little bit. I don't know if you heard, but all the point guards are hurt. You out here talking about 8-13? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Now 9-12?
Yeah.
Bennett, I think I owe you an apology.
Well, it just feels good to get on a nice little winning streak here. And I know that, like, you're playing some not so great opponents in this 3-game winning streak. However, I will say that Clippers game, that one is that's felt different than just beating a bad Clippers team, because they got Kawhi back and they had Kawhi playing super hard and James Harden playing super hard. Like, that was a team trying to win that had at least one guy that's won a lot before. So I felt really great about that one. Like, that didn't seem just like a win over a bad team to me.
They had their issues, but yeah, they're different than the Kings, right?
Yes.
They're different than the Mavericks.
Yes.
Right. And obviously,
Pelicans.
And they're different than the Pelicans. Obviously, last night the story was Zach Edey. Is this, 35-17 is outrageous.
That's insane. He has 51 rebounds over his past 3 games.
He's now averaging 14 points and 11 rebounds per game, and that includes the game that he had to leave after only 6 minutes with a head injury.
Mm-hmm.
So that skews the numbers. Like, if you take that out of there, it's obviously even better. So he is performing right now like one of the best centers in the world. Is he one of the best centers in the world?
Again, I want to see it like against like as the competition gets a little bit better. I think one thing that we know right now is you better have a good center if you're going up against Zach Edey. I think we know that immediately, because these past 3 Zubac is actually a great center, so that was an amazing performance. But in the other 2, like, he took advantage of inferior competition. So I'm excited to see how it goes when he starts playing against some of these big-time centers in the league.
It's interesting because I had an NBA person as recently as 5-6 years ago, like, just say matter-of-factly, I would never take a center in the top 10 of a draft ever again, because everybody was trying to play small, 5 out. It's all copycat stuff.
Yep.
The Warriors are stacking championships with the small ball lineup and Draymond playing the 5. So everybody's looking to go small. And you got to a point where traditional bigs were almost like, there's like, you don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, you'd need one on your roster somewhere maybe. But in terms of drafting them, it was like, yeah, we're not going to spend, it's almost like running backs in the NFL. Like, I guess you need one on your roster, but you don't have to spend a top 10 pick on them, because they can get played out of playoff games and all that stuff. And now it's starting to come around. And in part because of more copycat stuff. You see the Thunder play 2 bigs. Now, Chet's not a traditional big, but they're big.
Yep.
And
that Hartenstein acquisition sent them over the top.
And here's Zach Edey, who, when he was picked, a lot of people said that's too high. A, for him, but B, for a traditional center. And are we even sure how it's going to work? Have you been watching the NBA lately? And it's working brilliantly. And you're seeing more and more across the league. There's a place for traditional centers. Maybe we got away from it for a handful of years, but there's a place for traditional centers in the NBA, and you might need them now as much as you've needed them in a while.
Yeah, I think also, too, the Grizzlies just recognized, like, we got to play the Spurs 4 times a year every year, and they have a guy named Wemby, and we have to be able to try to counter that.
Well, the other thing is, like, Zach was a 2-time Wooden Award winner. He was quite literally the best player in college basketball for 2 years.
It was overthought in his draft process, I think.
Clearly, with the benefit of hindsight, but I do remember Dan Hurley talking about this. And it was even before UConn and Purdue played in the national championship game. Dan was just sort of talking about Zach Edey as a college basketball observer, Dan, of course, being the UConn coach. And somebody asked him about Zach Edey. And he just said, I think you're not very bright if you can't figure out a way to use him in the NBA. Like, he's 7'4", 300 pounds, incredible touch. And he's a 2-time National Player of the Year in college who nobody can guard. So nobody can deal with him at this level of the sport. And you just decided, but he won't work at this level of the sport? Because Draymond Green plays center sometimes? What are we doing? Like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Think outside the box and figure out how to utilize. This is one of the most unique basketball players in the world. And oh, by the way, he hadn't been playing basketball that long. That's the other thing. He got really good at this and didn't play it that long. It wasn't like he was in, individual workouts at the age of 7.
Right.
He's still a relatively newcomer to the sport. So he got really good, really fast, and he is overwhelming at the high major level of college basketball. And you just decided it won't work. Dan Hurley was like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Just get creative, figure it out. And Matt Painter said similar things. Like, I'm just telling you, he's all the things you see and more. He's all the things you see, but he moves his feet a little better than you think. He's got a little better touch than you think. He's a better competitor than you might realize. All that stuff. And now here it is. It's happening.
Oh, yeah.
It's happening. And I know we've been down around here a little bit, but
this is exciting.
I mean, it looks like you've hit on your past 2 lottery picks. Still early, but it looks like you've hit on your past 2 lottery picks. I think this is the best way to put it sometimes. If you could undo it, would you? If I could just let you could snap your fingers right now and undo the Zach Edey draft pick, would you do it?
No.
Right. You could snap your fingers right now and undo the Cedric Coward draft pick. Would you do it?
No.
Right. I think you hit on both of them. And so then it's just a matter of the other stuff we talk about all the time.
Who else going to be there for the ride?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, hopefully we get a job date here soon. I think we will.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting closer on that 2 weeks, so hopefully we get an update there soon.
But the good news is, like, they are playing well in his absence. And if you're really keeping close eyes on it, he looks engaged and he looks like he's a part of it.
Oh yeah, man. He was trying to coach him up last night.
Yeah,
Everybody saw the video.
So that's just all good stuff.
Yes.
If we're gonna analyze body language, and tweets and Instagram posts all the time, then let's keep doing it.
Yep.
And the body language was good. It has been good. And so I think everybody is eager to see him out there again. But it is a good sign that they're getting through this. Yeah, bad teams, I got it. But all these games count the same. And
yes.
Not too long ago, you were 6-12, and now you're 9-12, and that's good.
Yeah, and there's some other things that have been trending well for them over this 3-game winning streak. Like, obviously, the Vince Williams Jr. thing, that's been a revelation. He has 29 assists over these past 3 games. He's been going crazy in that department. He ain't giving you as much in the scoring, but, he's found his role, right? Like, he was a guy that, frankly, we were talking about not even getting minutes to start this season. It was going so bad, right? And now he's found a real role on this team that I don't think is going to go away. Jalen Wells has been playing way better. He's playing the best stretch of basketball his entire season. He's had a rough go to start the season, 17 points per game over these past 3. Jaren's been playing better. He's had his best stretch of the season over these past 3. So there's other good things besides just Edey that maybe hopefully point to this thing keep trending in the right direction.
A lot of this is schedule induced, sure, but the Grizzlies are now 5-6 away from home. It's better than they are inside FedEx Forum, and heading to San Antonio for a game against the Spurs tomorrow night. So I say make it 4 in a row.
Oh, 4-0 on this road trip. We're having a party in here tomorrow.
A parade, perhaps.
Or it's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, we'd have to save our party / parade for Wednesday. Mm-hmm. But I'm willing to have one if you are.
Because we can't hoist the damn cup trophy, which that sucks. To lose on point differential.
It's always next year.
We were there. We were there. Let us in.
Yeah.
Let us in the field, man.
It's always next year.
I want to be a part of that cup tournament in Vegas. I do.
Maybe someday.
Okay.
Maybe someday.
Maybe I'll be there.
Maybe someday.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Number 2.
The initial net rankings for the 2025-26 season were published this morning.
Okay.
It's not good for Memphis.
What's going on?
You're not going to like this at all.
Okay, what's going on?
Memphis is 160th.
That seems a little extreme.
160th.
That seems a little extreme for me.
160th?
They don't look like the 160th team in the country to me, GP.
What do they look like to you?
Well within the top 100, okay? They are. Look at who they played. They've got one bad loss.
That's right.
They've got one bad loss. They got one bad loss. And maybe that one won't be as bad come end of the year, but they've got one bad loss.
I think that one's going to
Is that one going to stay bad? You never know. Josh has done some things before.
Sometimes you know.
Okay.
But it does create an intriguing matchup Wednesday inside FedEx Forum, because do you know who's matching up against each other?
We're facing Masterpiece team.
Playing New Orleans.
Yeah.
And Memphis is 160th in the net. New Orleans
161. How about that? Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
No, it's actually an interesting week for the Tigers. Like that's a game that you got to win against a team that can get you right against New Orleans. Like this.
I mean, if we're sitting here talking about New Orleans can get you, let's just give up. Let's just give up.
Exactly
I'm
right.
ready to give up.
You know what? That was a defeatist thing for me to say right there.
If we've reached a point where we're talking about, man, New Orleans might get you, then just
hang it up. I completely agree with that. But then you get Baylor this weekend, so take care of New Orleans, and then you get another shot to get to 500 and to get back into the they stubbed their toe coming out, but they did get that quad one in Baylor on national TV on CBS coming off NFL Sunday. Like that's pretty big. That'd be pretty big. So they can turn it around. They got time. They can turn it around.
The highest rated team in the American, your Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Bro, I don't want to hear it.
Hey, I told you.
Save it for conference play.
I did the Veterans Classic, first Friday night of the season. And Tulsa played Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And I was on the sideline for that game. And Tulsa won the game. And I came back in here on Monday and I was like, by the way, I know you don't care about the Veterans Classic, but like Tulsa looks pretty good.
That's a good one. Rhode Island's okay.
I mean, Rhode Island should be okay. I don't know how okay they are. But
I love just throwing college basketball stuff at you.
Rhode Island was okay. It's fine.
Okay.
But Tulsa right now 6-1. Lone losses to PJ Haggerty and Kansas State by a point on the road.
Revenge game for PJ.
And Tulsa has gone from 139th at KenPom to start the season. They were 139 when this thing started, and they're up to 84. So they've jumped significantly in those ratings, which still includes some preseason data.
Mm-hmm.
The net doesn't. And so that's how you get them top 30. They're top 30 in the net.
See, this is eerily similar to what we were talking about with Ryan Silverfield when the league got worse, but you weren't beating the teams that like became your peers once the league got worse. It cannot be a competition between Memphis and Tulsa. This is one of those where you got to get that. Like, it can't be, they're pretty good. You've always been better than them. You got to continue to be better than them.
Yeah, it's
And I've looked at the leagues because obviously the Tigers, because of their losses against good teams, are lower in the conference standings. Bro, this league is as bad as advertised. Okay.
Oh, it's awful.
It is really bad. There's some of these teams have taken some horrendous losses to start the season. It's rough.
Well, think about this. Memphis is 2-4, and still the highest rated team in the American at KenPom at 70. There are no other top 80 teams in the American outside of Memphis. Now, Tulsa, again, top 30 in the net is just a different algorithm. I think Tulsa is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for them, though, because that's a Q1 opportunity, GP.
But if you were hoping some other teams in this league would prove to be better than expected and establish themselves as real at-large candidates, it just hasn't happened. Tulsa would be the only team in the American right now that could look itself in the mirror and say, maybe we could build an at-large resume, given where we are right now.
Yep.
With these computer numbers and what's ahead of us, I don't think anybody else can. Memphis has a schedule to do it. I just don't think Memphis will. I don't think Memphis is going to, when this non-league schedule's over, I don't think we're going to go. And now if they just don't blow it in the league, they're fine. I think the non-league schedule is going to be over and we're going to say, well, now they're going to have to win their conference tournament.
Yeah.
But I don't know the last time we've said that about it. You're not supposed to say this about Memphis basketball too often. Before the calendar even flips to January, they're going to have to win their conference tournament. Like historically, you didn't have to say that because they were in better conferences that provided opportunities to win games that could help you undo some bad stuff you might have done in your non-league and build an at-large resume. Now there is nothing in your league that's going to allow you to build an at-large resume. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have it built in many ways, by the time you get to it, you can't build it. You don't have the tools to do it. You don't have the games to do it. So not great. Not great.
We're not going to overlook New Orleans this week. I'm not saying it's an upset opportunity. I'm just saying we're not going to overlook New Orleans this week. And then we got a huge one on Saturday inside this building.
Let's go get two this week and show the net rankings what's up.
Let's do it.
Let's show the net rankings.
Also at Tulsa for their only meeting this season on January 21st. That screams potential Q1 opportunity to me.
Oh, it could. Oh, it would be right now.
Mm-hmm.
It would be right now.
There we go. Okay. There we go.
Bennett's already
We're
looking
rooting for
ahead.
the Golden Hurricanes.
All right. We've come a long way, haven't we?
Yep.
All right.
Number 3.
What a weird story from your Titans game yesterday. Did you see this one?
Yeah, someone threatened to kill somebody. I
Logan
heard,
Cook.
Yeah, Logan Cook. He is the Pro Bowl punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a captain, I believe.
He allegedly threatened to kill Julius Chestnut. Like, that's a real thing that happened yesterday. A punter threatened to kill a running back.
Yeah, I saw their scuffle. Now, have you seen the video of the scuffle?
I didn't see the video of the scuffle.
It's the biggest punter I've ever seen in my life. Like, Julius Chestnut looks small next to him. He's the biggest punter I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, he might actually be about that.
The quote from Chestnut is hilarious. Here's the quote. I was just trying to play hard, and he came up to me and said he was going to kill me.
Well,
so I don't know what made him do that. I don't know why the other team's punter threatened to murder me.
Oh,
imagine getting threatened with murder in the middle of a football game by a punter.
That's tough.
Like, it's one thing if it's
embarrassing.
It's one thing if it's an inside linebacker. You'd be like, "Hey, how was work today? A man threatened to kill me. Who? Inside linebacker. Yeah, they're wired that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Man threatened to kill me at work today. Who? The punter. What? The punter?
You ain't seen a picture of this punter, dude. He's not your average punter. He's huge, man. And he's a captain. He can say those things.
Chestnut said that was surprising to me. I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
We are down so bad. We scored 3 points yesterday, and we're getting threatened with our lives by punters. Like,
think about that. That's where you're at.
That's where we're at.
That's your life right now.
That sucks.
That's your life right now.
That sucks.
You lose every game, and punters are threatening to whip your ass.
I hate this. I hate it here.
I'd like to tell you it's going to get better, but I don't know if it is.
But we'll get maybe number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah, that seems to be working out for you so well.
That's looking like very realistic at this point. They're not winning a game.
I don't see how they could.
They are. Well, although, you know what this week is?
I don't know what this week is.
Oh, we have a massive matchup. Cam versus Shadeur.
Ooh.
Cam versus Shadeur on tap. Who was right? Who was wrong?
Might have both been wrong.
I'm still holding out hope.
Might have both been wrong.
Cam's in a tough spot right now.
Yeah.
It's a disastrous organization. We're going to have some organizational changes around him.
But at least no punters or kickers or special team members threatened to whip his ass yesterday.
That's that we know of.
That we know of.
Yeah,
that we know of. Well, anyway, y'all got to get that straight. You can't be getting bullied by punters. I think that goes without saying. Like, how can you ever have the proper football culture you need to achieve success in the National Football League if you're being threatened by punters?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I mean, if I were coaching today, I'd walk in that locker room and I'd say, did I read this right? Did we get punked by a punter yesterday?
And did he stand over you? Yeah, he kind of did.
Well, running backs are little fellas sometimes. You know, they're fast, but they're little.
Right.
Sometimes.
I
just think you can't, regardless of the size of the punter, you can't let a punter threaten to murder you on a football field. No. You got to have, you got to die right there, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Hey, speaking of Shadeur Sanders, he's now 1-1 as starter of the Cleveland Browns, and that's because they lost yesterday 26-8. He was 16 of 25, 149 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times. Did you see the postgame?
Mm-mm.
So it was interesting. I guess they're just going to always I don't believe in, as often as it's said, well, the media is just trying to get you. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that's true, usually. But every press conference, they are asking him weird questions.
What they ask him.
So this one yesterday was, so you had a couple of fourth down plays that your coach called. Did you like those play calls? It's like, what are you supposed to say to that? Like, how are you supposed to? You can either say,
no.
The only thing you can say is, yes, I like the play calls. We just didn't execute.
Didn't work out, yeah.
But like, typically, when you're a reporter, I think you should only be asking questions if you genuinely want to know the answer to it. If you really think what's about to come next is beneficial to the job you're doing, then you should ask the question. But anything short of that, just shut up. So many press conferences, Grizzlies included, they're just people that want to hear themselves talk. Just like, why did you ask that question? Well, how is that answer going to benefit you at all? You're just talking. And so this question falls under that. Like, you're not really trying to get anything of value unless it's just a clip of Shadeur messing up. Because there's no good answer to that question. So, notice there were some fourth down calls, and did you like them? Yes or no? Well, you're going to say no? No, I didn't like you're going to criticize your play caller? So what are you even doing this for? And he stopped. And he said, I think that's I don't remember the word he used exactly, but basically said, I think that's an inappropriate question. Like, what? I'm not going to stand up here and criticize my coaches. That's what he said. I thought he handled it pretty well. He's like, I'm never going to do that. I'm just appreciative to be on the field. My coaches put me on the field. Anything that happens after that, like, I'm the player, they're the coaches. I'm not going to question my coaches. I'm just happy we're on the field. Yeah, there was some fourth down play calls. I'm just that regardless of the cause, my coach left me out there, showed he had confidence on me to try to execute and get a first down. I didn't do it. We've got to be better. But I don't know why you're asking me to criticize my coach. I'm just not going to do that. And when you really do start to contrast it with the way other quarterbacks are asked questions, he has asked a lot of questions that other quarterbacks aren't asked. Some of this is, he brought it on himself with whatever and whatever. But I thought, I've now seen multiple moments where it feels like somebody really is like, let's see if we can get him.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch him. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get him to pop off right here.
Right.
And that seems unnecessary. But
I agree.
But he handled it I thought he handled it pretty well. Like, I'm not questioning my coaches. I'm the player. They're the coaches. I'm not going to be disrespectful to my coaches, and I'm not ever going to publicly criticize them in the ways that you're clearly asking me to do. So let's just move on. Anyway, Titans-Browns next week. That should be something.
Oh, that's going to
You know what?
suck.
Like, there will be a lot of eyeballs on that just because of the quarterbacks.
And I just think what's going to end up happening is he's going to probably have a better day than Cam because of the situation. Browns have a great defense. Like, the Titans are always going to be in a bad field position. It feels like it just.
And it won't necessarily mean anything.
That's right.
But everybody will make it out like it does.
Yeah, everybody will say, "Oh, Shadeur got the best of Cam. Should he have been the number 1 overall pick?" That's what it's going to be like.
Right.
Yeah,
we do tend to talk about quarterbacks and like wins and losses without properly recognizing like sometimes it ain't about the quarterback.
Right.
I mean, that is, I think, what most people consider the most important position, perhaps in American sports, but it ain't always about the quarterback. Just because one team wins and one team loses doesn't necessarily say something about the quarterbacks all the time. But that won't stop people from pretending that it does.
Can't wait.
Can't wait for that.
Number 5.
Jeff Passan had a report with MLB's Winter Meetings getting underway in less than a week now that Kyle Schwarber has emerged as the biggest, say, position player available in terms of the type of contract he's going to be offered. Remember, I told you last week there were reports that the Pirates were going to try to make a big offer for him in an attempt to spend and show Paul Skeens like, hey, we're trying.
Yep.
Mets are also going to reportedly make a big offer. Philly's also going to reportedly make a big offer. But he's going to have one of the biggest contracts in terms of total value and annual average value in the history of Major League Baseball. All indications are because he has totally rejuvenated his career. He was designated for assignment by the Chicago Cubs.
Wow.
Like, rather than just let him go to arbitration and they'd have to pay him whatever they got to pay him for 1 year, they just said, nah, just get out of here and let him go. And he bounced around a little bit, but he's established himself in Philadelphia as one of the greatest power hitters in the sport. And so he'll do a rare thing, go from being designated for assignment at one point in your career to signing one of the richest contracts in baseball in another point in your career. Nice story.
It is pretty cool.
I'd like to get him out of the NL East, unless, of course, he wants to play for the Mets. Otherwise,
y'all can do that. Y'all got the money to do
all the money. We have all the money.
Damn, y'all can just do that.
Whatever we want.
I would do it.
I mean, they spent $330 million on the team last season.
Yeah.
There's no limit. I
might just go sign that guy.
It's the wealthiest owner in baseball.
Yeah.
You just sign into whatever you want.
That's what I would recommend.
I'm fine with having a $400 million payroll.
Yeah.
Like, I know people scoff at that, and they're like, so you just buy World Series? I would love to buy a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers keep doing it. Looks fun.
It does look pretty fun.
You know? I don't remember when Shohei Ohtani was homering 3 times in the playoffs, people going, yeah, but I bet this sucks because you just bought him.
No, I don't think they care.
I wouldn't care. Spend $500 million on a baseball team. Just win. So, yeah, Kyle Schwarber, if you want to come to Flushing, Queens, we'd be glad to have you. Short of that, sign with somebody outside of the NL East. I'm tired of watching you hit home runs. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Grizz Nation, Friday nights just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to Grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Tips off with our biggest ticket deal of the season. The Grizzlies Cyber Monday deal gives you the chance to be home for the holidays with up to 60% off tickets to Grizzlies games in December and January. The ticket deal, it's available for one day only. Today is that day. It's Cyber Monday. So lock in for the holidays at FedEx Forum. Visit Grizzlies.com/cyber to get your tickets. That's Grizzlies.com/cyber to get your tickets today. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Breaking news from the past few minutes. UCLA has a new head coach. His name, Bob Chesney.
Who's that?
Coached at James Madison the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. Bob Chesney.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Sorry.
It is wild. Like 2 years ago, he's the head coach at Holy Cross, just like working at that level of the sport. Finally gets a proper D1 job at James Madison. Has a couple good seasons, and now he's coaching the Big Ten. It's the same thing that is happening in college basketball. I touched on this earlier. The hiring and firing cycle has just been sped up. And so I can remember a time in college basketball. I'm a little more familiar with the basketball side of things, right? Than I am the football. Like, I don't know Bob Chesney. How the hell would I know Bob Chesney? On the basketball side, there was a time where it was like you had a stable of mid-major coaches who are going to be the next great things, and you're watching them, build at the mid-major level, and it's like, well, when these big jobs open, that's where you go to fill them. It'll be right there at VCU with Shaka Smart, and at Dayton with Archie Miller. You had Brad Stevens at Butler. And it was like, all right, you've got these guys operating at the mid-major level, and they've been winning notably for years. And so when these big jobs open, like the Texas job, like the Indiana job, well, there's guys with proven track records over many years to go take over these big programs. Now, like if you said, GP, who's the next guy out of the A-10 to get a big job? Or the next guy out of the American to get a big, like, they all just, like Ross Hodge at North Texas, he's there for a minute. And then it's like, well, West Virginia needs a new coach. I guess you go get the North Texas coach. Everything is so quick now. At the mid-major level of football or basketball, you're really like one good year away from cashing in big time. So it's fascinating. Like I almost think like among the best jobs you could get is like find, like if I were like looking at young coordinators and stuff, find the American football program that's expected to be good next season. Like that has an opening there. Get on staff with that person. Because you know what history tells us? These SEC, Big Ten schools, ACC schools, somebody's gonna be disappointing. Somebody's got to finish. Right. Somebody's got to be bad. For every team that's good, somebody's got to be bad. Well, the team's bad, they're gonna fire their coach, and then they're gonna look up and go, we got to hire somebody who's out there. And if you are a successful American coach, then it's probably you. And then you're the coordinator on that staff. You slide in to be the new head coach to hold it together. And now you have to win like 1-2 years, and now you're the next head coach of Florida. Like it can happen that quickly for you. You don't have to prove it over 4, 5, 6, 7 years anymore. It's like 1 year, 2 years for the most part. And Bob Chesney seems to be the latest example of that. 2 years ago, working at Holy Cross, not even at this level of the sport. Has 2 good years at James Madison, whatever those look like. And now he's coaching UCLA in the Big Ten. Good for him. Good for him.
But yeah, that's a tough spot.
It is a weird profession in the sense that I think about this sometimes. Most of us, like when you go to college and then you get out of college and then you get a job and then you keep building on that job, hopefully, on that career in increments, right? So maybe, I don't even, like, whatever. But it's like you get a job and you make this amount of money. And then maybe your next job you make, $30,000 more.
Yep.
And your next job you might make $40,000 more. And hopefully, if things are going well, you just keep building and building and you've got a nice life for yourself. In the college coaching profession, you can you graduate, then you're a grad assistant making nothing. Then you're a position coach making not a lot. And you might stay in that place till you're 35, 40 years old. Like there's 40-year-old coaches who they're like living in very normal subdivisions, position coaches, and they're like their kids go to school with your kids and their car ain't no nicer than your car. And then it's like promotion, head coaching job, big head coaching job, sign a $60 million contract. Like you could go from making $100 grand, $200 grand, and then it's like, here's $8 million a year for 6 years guaranteed. Like that's just not a normal life.
Right.
To be living a normal life and then boom, at the age of 45, 50 years old, somebody might drop $50 million on you. But that's the way the coaching profession works. Like how much money was Bob Chesney making at Holy Cross 2 years ago compared to what he's going to make next year? Most people's lives don't change that abruptly, that dramatically. I bet he was making at Holy Cross, I don't even know, but a fraction of what he'll be making now. All based off 2 good seasons at James Madison. Good for him.
Yeah, man.
Good for Bob Chesney. Let's make sure that's his real name. Yep, Bob Chesney.
Good.
All right.
Thanks for getting that right.
Yeah.
What's today's biggest game?
Are you ready for some football?
I think so.
A Monday night party?
I think so.
It's the Giants and the Patriots at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. You get to watch your old coach, Mike Vrabel, try to improve to 11-2 against the injury-riddled Giants. Are the Giants injury-riddled?
They get Jackson Dart back tonight.
What about his little buddy Cam? Scattaboo.
No, Cam's done for the year.
He's
that
dead.
ankle snapped in half.
He's dead. I saw him fighting WDB, you guys, a few weeks ago, though.
What was he doing?
You didn't see that?
What was it? Oh, yeah. He was in the front. He was in the front row.
Yeah, at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, sure was.
I don't think Giants fans like that. They said, why is our injured running back fighting wrestlers?
I'm trying to.
It's New England minus 7.5. The total's 46.5. How you going to act?
I think I'm going to go Patriots, but I'm going to go Patriots.
You're not worried about that little hook getting you?
It does make me nervous because Jackson Dart's having this really fun season, and I could see him in prime time maybe making something happen, maybe making a little something out of nothing. That makes me a little nervous, but man, Vrabel's got that defense cooking. We'll go. God, the Patriots lost the Raiders. We'll go. That's fine. We'll go Patriots.
Final answer. Patriots minus 7.5. Kick is 7:15 tonight. You can watch it on ESPN.
What are we watching on TV?
Okay. I got some things to tell you.
Okay.
I went to the movies.
Oh, you did?
I went to the movies.
Did you go see Wicked for Good?
Wicked for Good.
I figured that's what you went and saw.
How many people do you think are like me? Never seen Wicked the play, the musical, the show. Didn't see the first Wicked movie, but went to the second one. Just all blind. Just walked in blind.
God, that gives me anxiety.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the movie. I hated it. Gave me anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, how'd you know what was going on?
Okay, so here's what happened. My oldest son and his girlfriend came into town for Thanksgiving. That was beautiful. And so we don't get the whole family together much anymore, right? You know, our oldest son doesn't live here anymore. But they came in town. And they had all watched, I think Kelly and the little guys had seen Wicked before. Aiden and Julie had not. So they all watched Wicked at home like last Wednesday night when I was in New York, right? And with the idea being, hey,
we'll all go see it.
We'll all go see Wicked. The original plan was going to be for Thanksgiving night. And I was like, I'm flying home and I don't even land till 5, and I don't want to hold you guys up. So if you're gonna go, you can go without me. I'm out of town. Anyway, they didn't end up going Thursday night. Didn't end up going. So it was like Friday. We're going to the movies, and I was like, well, I still hadn't seen Wicked, and it got to the point on Friday where I didn't have time. But they were gonna go to the movies, and I didn't have time to watch Wicked. And so my instincts were like, I'm not gonna go watch the sequel to a film I haven't seen the original, because I'd just be sitting there for 2.5 hours like an idiot. I don't know what's going on. I was like, no, I can't do that. And then I went, how many opportunities am I going to have the rest of my life to go to the movies with my entire family? Right? And so I should just go and sit there.
Yep.
I should just go, even if I just sleep through the whole thing, I should just be present and just go. But it stressed me out because I don't like to do things like this. Everything has to be in order for me. I don't like to watch episode 2 before episode 1.
Right.
Of anything. I don't like to watch an episode of something that I haven't seen the previous episodes for. I'm not the person who just walks in the living room and be like, oh, what are you watching?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's this new show on Netflix. I'm on episode 4. And I'm like, oh, let me sit down with you. I'm like, well, if you want to start it over or let me catch up, but I'm not going to watch episode 4. I ain't seen episode 1, 2, and 3. So I was real stressed out. But I was like, I really did have that moment. Like, hey, you know, everybody's here. And I would have, I would have rather sat home, if I'm being completely honest, and just like watch basketball or whatever. But I knew that if I sat home, I would feel bad because I'd feel like I'm missing out on something in a life where I already miss out on too much. So I said, I'm going to the movies. I don't care if I've seen the first Wicked. I'm going to watch the second Wicked. I read about it. I read every plot synopsis you could find.
That should be enough.
I had a pretty good grasp for what I was walking into. And so, yeah, I watched Wicked for good on Friday night. Liked it fine.
Did you go back and watch part 1?
I'll never.
Okay.
I think I'll never. Okay. I didn't love it enough to go back and do all that. But I thought it was, I liked the way I just thought it was
a sweet movie.
It's fine. I liked it fine. I was never bored.
It was fun. I enjoyed it as well. Is it like the greatest movie I've ever seen? No, but it was a fun time at the movies.
It was fun, and I do like the way they sort of explain who the Tin Man is and who this is and all of that stuff.
The lore.
Some of it I had sort of, I'd spotted in advance. Some of it I could see coming. Like who's the father? I could see that coming. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody could see that coming, right? But 2 thumbs up for me, I guess.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got you on board.
And then on Saturday, I made myself watch wrestling.
I watched it as well.
Because as you know, I've lost my passion. But I would like to have it back. And so I made myself and my family, I made everybody sit through it. I was just like, we're going to try to re-engage with this. And I had a perfectly fine night.
I did too. I'm a sucker for a cage match.
I like a good
You
cage.
put people in a cage, I'm there.
I'm a sucker for Liv Morgan.
She's great.
Nice to have her back.
Yep, she's great.
And
Rhea Ripley wore the Undertaker Phantom mask. That was cool.
Love Rhea Ripley.
Who's the masked man?
Who is the masked man? That's what I was going to ask you.
It could only be one man.
Who is the mystery man? I mean, the streets are saying it was Seth Rollins.
Well, he did the stomp.
Right? But that seems a little too obvious, right?
Right. And
so was it somebody else in trying to make you think it's Seth Rollins, but it's not Seth Rollins? What do you think?
I think it's Seth Rollins.
I think it's probably Seth Rollins.
I think it's probably Seth Rollins.
But hey, we'll get some answers tonight, theoretically.
Yep. I'll be there.
Because we got Raw on. I think I'm going to be there too. I want to get my passion back. I forced myself to sit through wrestling this weekend. I at least feel caught up.
Yes.
Like I kind of know what's going on now, even if I don't know who the mystery man is. So we'll watch Raw on Netflix tonight, 7 o'clock.
Sounds good to me.
We'll stream it. We'll stream it together.
Sounds good.
All right.
What's the best thing we've read?
Top 25 and 1 is updated over at CBSSports.com. I kept Arizona number 1. And as I was going through it, like there's nothing in college basketball that matters today. Blame Thanksgiving. Slow weekend in college basketball. We had incredible feast week, Players Era Festival, Maui, Acrisure, Battle for Atlantis, all that stuff last week. And then you got a couple of interesting Black Friday games.
Yep.
UConn blasted Illinois, or at least beat them by double digits. And then really nothing Saturday, nothing Sunday, nothing today, because so many teams traveled for Thanksgiving and just blame the holiday. Nothing today. So I'm like, what am I going to write about? Decided to write about Tuesday night's schedule. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. But tomorrow night, you've got a college basketball schedule where it has these 3 games. Florida at Duke, UConn at Kansas, North Carolina at Kentucky. And so I was like, ooh, those are some nice matchups. All true road home environments, student sections, all that. Like, I watch these games. You could put them in South Dakota, Las Vegas, New York, wherever. But they're better in true road home environments with capacity crowds and student sections. Like, I guess it was Thanksgiving night. Big time basketball game on CBS after Chiefs Cowboys. it was Arkansas and Duke, right? Cameron Boozer, John Calipari. It'll probably be the highest rated college basketball game of this regular season, simply because it was on CBS and it had a Cowboys-Chiefs lead-in. And it was a fun basketball game. Duke, Arkansas, two big brands, but it was in Chicago. Like the building was empty.
Yeah.
And like Kelly was funny. She supports her husband, but she does not follow the sport. Right. And so she just sort of, she's never going to be the type that, yeah, I heard it was a neutral court game between Duke and Arkansas.
Right.
She just like sees it. And she's like, where are they playing? And I was like, Chicago. See the Bulls logo. And she's like, I just think it's interesting sometimes to get people who have no connection to it and just sort of hear what they, and she was like, why would they do that? Wouldn't it be better if they played it like, in Arkansas or North Carolina?
Yes.
Like where Arkansas is or where Duke is? And the answer is yes. And so sometimes it takes somebody with clear eyes to look at this and go, why are we doing this way?
Yep.
And the answer is money. It's always money. How much money did Duke and Arkansas get to just go play that game there? Hundreds of thousands, if not more than that. So it's always money. That's always the answer. Why are all these teams playing out in Las Vegas in empty arenas? Why are these teams in South Dakota playing in empty arenas? Money is always the answer. Promoters pay them to come play, and that's the business model. So I'll watch these games anywhere, but they're better like this. They're better in true road home environments. You'll see it when you turn on the TV tomorrow night. And what's interesting about these matchups, think about this. This doesn't even sound true, what I'm about to tell you. 3 games, 6 teams. Florida, Duke, UConn, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky. There are 365 schools that play Division I men's basketball for reasons that make no sense whatsoever. It's ridiculous that Division I basketball is that big. But there's 365. That's the number. And those 6 teams I just identified that are playing each other in some form tomorrow night, Florida, Duke, UConn, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, are responsible for 16 of the past 21 national championships.
Damn.
6 schools responsible for 73% of the past 21 national championships. UConn's won 5 of the past 21. So UConn wins it in 2004, 11, 14, 23, and 24. Carolina wins it in 05, 09, 17. Florida wins it 06, 07, 25. Duke wins it 10 and 15. Kansas 08 and 22. Kentucky wins it in 2012. There was a stretch from 2004 through 2012 where nobody won a championship other than one of those 6 schools.
I wonder if I can name the...
Okay, so you ready? Oh, try trivia time.
Okay, it's 5 schools. 4?
There are 6 schools.
Yep.
Florida, Duke, UConn, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky. They've won 16 of the past 21 national championships in men's basketball.
Okay, so who are the 5 others?
Okay, now I'm going to give you a tip. There's only 4 because one of them won multiple. But there are 4 other schools that have won national championships in the past 21 years besides Florida, Duke, UConn, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky. Can you name them?
Baylor.
Baylor is one in 2021.
Auburn is not. One's got to be an SEC school.
I'll help you. One's not an SEC school.
One's not an SEC school?
It is. You got Baylor. There's 3 more. It's an ACC. 2 ACCs and a Big East.
2 ACCs and a Big East. Okay. Baylor.
The Big East should be easy. They won multiple national championships. Their coach retired, became my coworker, and then decided...
Yeah, Baylor, Villanova.
There you go. Villanova won in 2016 and 2018.
Baylor, Villanova, Virginia.
Virginia in 2019.
Baylor, Villanova, Virginia. I'm missing an ACC school.
Yes.
And it's not Duke or North Carolina.
Correct. Hint would be...
Louisville?
It's Louisville.
Louisville. Okay, I didn't know if they goes that far back.
2013, they won the title.
Okay.
It was vacated, obviously, but they won it. We all watched it.
Okay.
So the 4 schools that have won titles.
Here we go.
since 2003, besides Florida, Duke, UConn, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, it is Louisville, Villanova, Virginia, and Baylor. You can read all about it, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow be Tuesday. We'll get you ready for Grizz Spurs in San Antonio. And, this Memphis coaching search reportedly is going to move pretty fast.
I think it's got to, because you've got 3 other ACC schools that are looking for head coaches, and you got to get the best.
And the transfer portal is opening soon. So could be talking about coaching carousel stuff tomorrow. Right now, the Tigers still looking for a coach. Ole Miss promoted from within. Should be a fun show.
Yeah.
Fun day. I'm looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. And we will meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.